You ever noticed how your brain never shuts up? Like you're trying to sleep, and your mind is reminding you to reply to that message, pay that bill, fix your CV, start eating healthy, call your mom, and also somehow figure out your entire life. It's like having 37 browser tabs open in your head, all screaming, urgent. Here's the truth nobody told us growing up. You're not overwhelmed because you're weak or lazy. You're overwhelmed because you're carrying too much in your head. Getting Things Done by David Allen is not just another productivity hack. It's a system that lets you take all that noise, pull it out of your brain, and turn it into something calm, clear, and doable. This is the method CEOs, entrepreneurs, and top performers quietly use to run busy lives without burning out. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to stop relying on memory, stop living in reaction mode, and finally feel in control again, even if your life is chaos right now. We're going to start with the first step of the GTD method: capture and clarify. This is where everything changes. This is how you go from "I'm stressed and behind on everything" to "I know exactly what I need to do next." Let's build you a brain you can actually trust. Section 1. Capture and clarify. Getting things out of your head and under control. Let's start with something powerful. Your brain is not a hard drive. It's not built for storage. It's built for ideas, problem solving, creativity. But most of us treat our brain like a storage box. We keep reminders, promises, guilt, goals, unfinished conversations, all locked in our head. And that is exactly why you feel tired even when you haven't done anything yet. The first rule of getting things done is simple. Stop letting your mind hold your tasks. Get them out. David Allen calls this step capture. Capture means if it matters, it does not live in your head anymore. It lives in a trusted place outside your head. Here's how that works in real life. Every time something pops into your mind, I need to buy toothpaste, I should check flight prices, I'd really need to talk to my boss about that thing, I should start a side hustle, I can't forget my cousin's birthday. You do not let that thought just float around and go back into the mental chaos. You immediately grab it and record it somewhere. You can use anything: Notes app on your phone, a small pocket notebook, a voice memo, an email draft to yourself. It doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to exist somewhere you can find later. This is called an inbox. And this is huge. Your inbox is not just your email inbox. Your inbox is any place where you temporarily park ideas, tasks, or things that need attention. For example, a note on your phone is an inbox. A page in your planner is an inbox. A sticky note on your desk is an inbox. A DM you send to yourself saying, "Edit YouTube script tomorrow," that's an inbox. You are building external memory. You are freeing up RAM in your brain. Why is this so powerful? Because every unfinished thing in your head is creating pressure on you. When your brain knows this is captured somewhere safe, it stops looping it. That loop in your head, that "don't forget, don't forget, don't forget," that is what drains your energy. The capture habit kills that loop. Now, let me be clear. Capturing alone is not enough. If all you do is write random tasks in 15 different places and never look at them again, you didn't build a system. You built a graveyard. That's why the second part matters. Clarify. Clarify means you take what you captured and you decide what it actually is. You don't just write "gym." You clarify what that means. Most people's to-do lists are vague, and vague equals friction. Get in shape, fix finances, grow the business, study Japanese, start YouTube. Those sound exciting, but your brain hates them because it doesn't know how to start. So here's the question that will change your productivity forever.
What is the next physical action? Not the whole project, just the next physical, visible action. Let's try it. Get in shape becomes book a 1-month trial at the gym near my apartment. Fix finances becomes open my banking app and look at last 30 days of expenses. Grow the business becomes send one message to one potential client today. Start YouTube becomes write 5 video ideas in notes. Feel the difference? Before, overwhelming. After, specific. Your brain can do specific. There's another powerful filter in Clarify, the 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule is pure magic. It says, if the next action takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Why is this important? Because a lot of stress is actually created by tiny unfinished tasks. Things like email Sarah the PDF, throw away that broken charger, put the receipt in the folder, confirm Saturday's plan, set a dentist reminder. These micro tasks sit in your head for days, sometimes weeks, just leaking energy, and they only take 30 seconds. So when you're clarifying, you ask, what is the next action? Can I do it in under 2 minutes? If yes, don't plan it, don't schedule it, don't overthink it. Do it now. Gone. Cleared. If no, if it's going to take longer than 2 minutes, then you have only 3 options. You either do it later, you delegate it, or you park it somewhere you will review. That's it. You are not allowed to just keep it in your head. Let's do a real scenario. Imagine this thought pops up. I need to renew my passport before December. Step 1, capture it. You write it down immediately in your inbox. Step 2, clarify it. You ask, what is the next physical action? Maybe the next action is go to government website and check renewal requirements. Now you can apply the 2-minute rule. Will that take under 2 minutes? Probably not. So you don't do it now. But you also don't let it disappear. You send it into your system for later. We'll handle how to organize that in the next section. Let's look at another example. Call mom about Sunday. Step 1, capture it. Step 2, clarify. The next action is literally call mom. Under 2 minutes? Yes. So you just call. Task gone. Mental space unlocked. This is how you start cleaning the mental noise. Now, here's something most people get wrong. They mix emotions with tasks. For example, you write, I feel behind on work. That's not an action. That's a feeling. The system can't execute a feeling, so you clarify it. What is making me feel behind on work? Maybe it's finish slide deck for Monday meeting. Good. Now clarify again. What is the next physical action? Maybe it's open Keynote and outline 3 bullet points for slide 1. Boom. That is something you can do. This is the secret. You are translating stress into action. When you get good at this, something beautiful happens. You stop waking up with anxiety and you start waking up with clarity. Instead of, I have so much to do, you have, here's precisely what I'm doing next. Capture gives your brain permission to stop holding everything. Clarify gives your brain permission to stop guessing. Together, capture and clarify create the foundation of control. And here's the best part. You can start today. You don't need an app. You don't need a planner. You don't need to be naturally organized. You just need 2 habits. Write it down when it lands in your brain and turn it into a clear next action. That's it. Now that you're capturing everything and clarifying the next step, where do all these actions go? How do you keep track? How do you make sure you don't forget what you delegated, what you're waiting for, what's urgent, and what can wait until you actually have time?
Section 2. Organize and review. Build a system you can trust. So now you're capturing everything and you're clarifying what each thing actually means. Amazing. But if you stop there, you'll still drown. You'll have tasks written everywhere, ideas in 10 different places, and now your stress is just organized chaos. We don't want chaos. We want control. This is where GTD becomes powerful. You don't just dump tasks into a list. You put each thing where it belongs. When everything in your life has a home, you stop chasing it in your head. Let's talk about the 4 main homes in your system. 1. Calendar. 2. Next actions list. 3. Projects list. 4. Waiting for list. If you only build these 4 lists and review them consistently, you will instantly be more organized than 90% of people you know. Let's walk through them. First, the calendar. Most people use their calendar like a dumping ground. They throw every task they hope to do this week into it. Finish lives Tuesday, research new camera Thursday, clean apartment Friday night. Then Friday night comes, you're tired, you didn't clean, and now you feel like a failure. Here's the rule from GTD. Only 3 types of things are allowed on your calendar: hard appointments at a specific time, deadlines that are real, or events that must happen that day. If it does not have a real time or a real date, it does not belong on your calendar. Why is this so important? Because your calendar is sacred. Your calendar is not your wish list. Your calendar is your commitments. When you protect it, you trust it. When you trust it, you stop feeling guilty all the time. So instead of lying to yourself with workout at 6 a.m. every single day and then snoozing it, you'd instead move sign up for gym membership to a different list, your next actions list. Which takes us to the second home, your next actions list. Your next actions list is not everything you could do in life. It's only the next physical, visible actions you are actually able to take. Example items from a real next actions list might look like email Jenny the revised contract, book dentist appointment, outline video idea number 3, compare flight prices to Tokyo, buy HDMI cable for camera setup. Notice how every item is something you can literally do. No vague dreams. No fix life. No improve YouTube channel. That's banned. Everything is specific and can be executed in one sitting. This is the list you look at when you have time and energy and you're ready to get stuff done. Now third, the projects list. Here's a key GTD idea. Anything that requires more than one step is a project. That sounds almost too simple, but it's life-changing. Because most people don't treat their real responsibilities as projects. They treat them as just something I need to handle. Launch new product, plan birthday weekend, renew passport, start content business, fix kitchen sink, prepare tax documents, get new job. Every single one of those is a project because it cannot be done in one step. Why do you need a projects list? Because projects are where overwhelm hides. If you only track single actions, you will forget the bigger commitments you've made to yourself, and that creates low-key anxiety. The projects list is a master list of everything in your life that needs multiple steps. Personal, work, money, health, everything. You don't work directly from the projects list every minute. You use it to make sure each project always has at least one clear next action on your next actions list. In other words, projects are what you're trying to complete. Next actions are what you're doing next to move it forward. Last one, the waiting for list. This is the most underrated list in productivity. The waiting for list is for anything you've delegated or anything you're depending on from someone else. Example, waiting for HR to confirm interview time, waiting for Anna to send the logo files, waiting for landlord to reply about repairs. Why is this list magic? Because it turns you into someone who follows up with confidence instead of stressing in silence. When you don't track what other people owe you, you carry it emotionally. You keep thinking, did James ever send that thing? Should I remind him? Am I being annoying? Did I forget? That's wasted energy. With a waiting for list, you just check it and follow up calmly. You're not nagging, you're managing. So here's the flow so far. You capture everything into inboxes. You clarify what each one actually means and the next physical action. You organize it into one of these buckets. Calendar, if it's time-specific. Next actions, if you can do it anytime. Projects, if it needs more than one step. Waiting for, if someone else needs to move. Now comes the final piece of this section, review. Without review,
the system dies. With review, the system becomes unstoppable. David Allen recommends one weekly review. Think of it like a meeting with yourself where you become the CEO of your own life. Here's what you do in that weekly review. Step 1. Clear your inboxes. You go through every capture point, your notes app, the sticky notes on your desk, random screenshots you recorded in the car, emails you sent to yourself at 2 a.m. You pull them all in, one by one, and you clarify them. Ask, what is this? Is there an action? What's the next action? Where does it go? Calendar? Next actions? Waiting for? Project? This is where you clean the mental trash and turn it into something you can trust. Step 2, update your projects list. Look at every active project in your life. Ask, what's the next step I can physically take to move this forward? If there isn't one, create one and add it to your next actions list. This guarantees momentum. Nothing just sits there getting stale. Step 3, scan your waiting for list. Anything stuck? Anyone ghosting you? This is where you decide who you need to follow up with. You don't leave it to, I'll remember. You already know by now, you won't. Step 4, look ahead on your calendar. Check what's coming next week. Deadlines, meetings, commitments. Prepare your brain before reality hits you. The weekly review is how you stop living in reaction mode. Most people wake up and let the day attack them. You wake up already knowing what matters. Here's why this matters so much. Systems fail when you stop trusting them. If you don't review your lists, you stop trusting your lists. Once you stop trusting your lists, you go back to storing things in your head, and the stress comes back. The weekly review keeps the system fresh, relevant, and alive. So by now your life is no longer a pile of I'll remember that. You're starting to build an external brain. You capture, you clarify, you organize with intention, you review weekly.
Section 3. Execute with calm focus. How to do the right thing right now. Now comes the part that actually changes your day. Execution. This is where most productivity methods fall apart. People say, yeah, I have a list, but then they sit down, open the list, stare at 27 items, and feel instantly overwhelmed. So they open Instagram instead. GTD fixes that with something very practical. You never ask, what should I do, from scratch. You make that decision using a filter. David Allen gives us 4 filters to choose the next action in the real world. 1. Context. 2. Time available. 3. Energy available. 4. Priority. Let's break this down. First, context. Context means where are you and what tools are available to you right now. For example, you might have a list of phone calls you need to make. That's a calls context. You might have a list of things to do only when you're at your computer. That's a laptop context. You might have tasks that could only be done when you're physically at home. That's a home context. Why does this matter? Because when you're standing in line waiting for coffee, you can't edit a full video, but you can absolutely text someone to confirm a meeting. When you're on the train, you probably can't deep focus on strategy, but you can make 2 small calls. When you're exhausted at 10 p.m. in your apartment, you're not going to do your tax planning, but you can definitely take out the trash and lay out your gym clothes for tomorrow. Context allows you to match the task to the situation. Instead of looking at your entire list every time, you just pull up the list that makes sense for where you are right now. Second, time available. How much time do you realistically have before the next thing? If you have 40 minutes before a meeting, don't start a task that needs 2 interrupted hours. Pick something that fits the window. This matters because one of the biggest productivity killers is choosing the wrong task for the amount of time you actually have. You choose something big, you get interrupted halfway through, and now you're frustrated and feeling behind. Instead, GTD teaches you to play smart. You learn to see small windows and use them well. You stop wasting little pockets of time. Third, energy available. This one is huge. You are not a machine. Your energy changes throughout the day.
At 9 a.m., you might be able to outline strategy, write scripts, make decisions. At 10 p.m., you might not have the mental power to solve problems, but you might have enough energy to do small admin tasks. So instead of bullying yourself with, "I should be productive," you ask a smarter question. Given my current state, what type of task can I actually execute? If you're low energy, don't try to force high brain work. Do simple tasks. That still moves your life forward. And the cool part is, all those tasks are already in your next actions list. You're not inventing them, you're selecting them. This is where GTD becomes kind to you. It doesn't expect you to be at 100% all the time. It expects you to be honest about the energy you have right now and still move. Now finally, priority. Only after you filter by context, time, and energy do you ask, okay, from what's left, what is most important? This is different from how most people work. Most people start from priority. They wake up and say, what's the most important thing I should be doing right now? And then they beat themselves up when they can't do it in that moment. GTD says, be real first, then be strategic. Here's an example. Let's say you're at your desk. You have 25 minutes and your energy is medium. You filter your next actions list for laptop tasks, then you remove anything that needs more than 25 minutes, then you remove anything that requires deep creative energy. Now you've got maybe 3 or 4 tasks that fit your real situation. From those remaining 3 or 4, you choose the one that moves the needle most. That is clean, calm decision-making. That is execution without drama. Now, let's talk about something deeper. Mind like water. This is one of the most famous ideas from getting things done. Mind like water doesn't mean relaxed like meditation on a beach. It means appropriate response. When you throw a rock into a calm lake, the water responds perfectly. Not too much, not too little. Just exactly what's needed. That's what GTD is trying to give you. Think about how most people live. Their day is just reactions. Notification to respond. Email to stress. Message to panic. Unexpected problem to chaos. They are constantly pulled, constantly triggered. Mind like water is different. You still respond, but you're not emotionally hijacked by every new thing. Why? Because you trust your system. When a new problem shows up, you don't freak out. You capture it, you clarify it, you park it in the right place, you know it won't be lost, you know it will be reviewed. Your brain says, cool, handled, and you return to what you were doing. That is power. Now, here's something David Allen says that most people never hear. Stress doesn't come from having too much to do. Everyone has too much to do. Stress comes from breaking commitments with yourself. If you tell yourself, I'll start going to the gym, and then you don't, that creates friction inside you. Your brain keeps poking you like, hey, are we still doing this or not? GTD helps because it forces you to define what do it actually means. It takes a wish and turns it into a next action. It moves it from dream energy to execution energy. And once it's in the system, captured, clarified, organized, it's now real. You're either doing it, delegating it, scheduling it, or consciously deciding not to do it yet. That honesty removes guilt. Let's make this super real. Imagine you're working and suddenly you remember, I still haven't updated my resume. Old you would feel a spike of stress, maybe shame, maybe, I keep putting this off. You'd open a blank doc, hate it, close it, feel worse. GTD you does this instead. Capture. Update resume goes into inbox. Clarify. What's the next physical action? Maybe it's open existing resume file and add my last job title under work experience. Organize. That next action goes into your next actions list under laptop tasks. Review. During your weekly review, you'll see it and plan when to do it. Execute. Next time you're at your laptop with 15 minutes and medium energy, you'll knock it out. No drama, no guilt. You are building trust with yourself. And that trust is the real win here. When you trust yourself, your nervous system calms down. You start moving with intention. You stop living in emergency mode. So let's zoom out. GTD is not just about tasks, it's about identity. You're not just busy. You're a person who is in control. You're not just reacting, you're choosing. You're not just surviving the day, you're designing it.
Here's the part nobody tells you. Productivity is not about doing more. It's about feeling lighter. Getting things done isn't about being a robot, scheduling every second, or grinding harder. It's about creating a mind you can live inside without drowning. Imagine waking up and not feeling behind. Imagine sitting down and instantly knowing the next thing you can do to move your life forward. Imagine handling problems without panic because you trust yourself to track them, handle them, and close them. That's the gift. So here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Step 1, capture everything. Every idea, every worry, every don't forget, write it down somewhere. Step 2, clarify the next physical action. Not fix my life, but email Mark the invoice. Step 3, do a quick review at the end of each day so nothing slips. Run that for 1 week and watch how your stress level changes. If this breakdown of Getting Things Done by David Allen helped you, do 2 things for me. First, hit like and subscribe. This channel is all about real, usable ideas from powerful books in self-growth, finance, productivity, and entrepreneurship. Second, drop a comment. What's the one area of your life that currently feels out of control? Work, money, health, or something else? You don't need more pressure. You need a system that lets you breathe. GTD can be that system.